Hello, everybody. Hope you all had a great Monday. As for me, it was pretty good. Did start raining on the way home and got so much done today, but being that it is Monday, means it's Spooky Places Monday. And this week we shall visit a few places in Iowa. And the first stop is Mossy Glen, Stony Hollow. It's near Strawberry Point in Iowa. Located just west of Strawberry Point, Iowa, and just east of Littleport, is a place called Mossy Glen. This seemingly peaceful valley is haunted by a number of restless spirits. The first ghost associated with this place is that of a peddler who came to the area selling his wares in the 1850s. Apparently, some of the local residents were interested in his goods and wanted them so badly that they killed him for them. His body is said to still be hidden in a small cave, and is said that his ghost is often seen there also. Another unexplained disappearance in the Mossy Glen involved a local attorney whose wife died under mysterious circumstances. Shortly after, he was plagued with horrible luck and misfortunes that were said to be caused by his wife's ghost. One afternoon he drove his buggy out to the Mossy Glen, and he was never heard from again. The most famous story of the area, though, is undoubtedly the Shine murder, which took place in 1936. A young woman named Pearl married a much older and much wealthier Dan Shine, a reclusive farmer. A short time later, Pearl conspired with a young farmhand to murder her husband. After they killed him, they tried to make it appear that he committed suicide. They failed to convince the authorities and were convicted of first-degree murder. After the death of Pearl Shine, many local residents claim they have seen her ghost still wandering the region of the Mossy Glen. Is she simply drawn there because of her misdeeds in the past, or is her spirit still trying to atone for the unspeakable crimes that she committed in life? And if she does not walk here, does she walk alone? Well, and if she does walk here, does she walk alone? There's also the legend of Lucinda, who once lived in a cottage that was so remote that no one remembers where it is anymore. Years ago, she committed suicide in the hollow by throwing herself off a cliff. She was distraught when she learned that her lover had abandoned her for another woman. It is said that she left a single rose on the path behind her before she jumped, and today, if you go to the glen late at night and speak Lucinda's name 3 times, her spectral form will appear. There are dark consequences to such summoning, however. It is said that if Lucinda drops a rose at your feet, you are doomed to die the next day. Very interesting. Then there's the Mars Hill Cemetery in Ottumwa, Iowa. Iowa. The Mars Hill Church and Cemetery are located near Ottumwa, Iowa. The church was built in 1850 and is said to be one of the oldest still operating churches in the state. The congregation meets there once each year, as the church is a very remote and secluded location. The area of the church and the cemetery has been the scene of much vandalism and desecration over the years. It is also said to be used by occult groups for ritual ceremonies. American Ghost Society representative Nancy Napier traveled to Mars Hill in July of 1998 and reported some evidence of occult practice did exist, and she found many gravestones that were stained with rings of candle wax. As in many other locations where such activity has been reported, stories of ghost and hauntings around here as well. Before arriving at the church and cemetery, visitors cross a narrow bridge which has its own story. It is said that many years ago a young woman had her baby baptized in the church and then, for some reason, walked to the bridge and threw it into the water, drowning the child. Legends say that on certain nights you can hear the sound of a scream while crossing the bridge. Spooky. Then we move on to our last stop for the night, Mathis Ham House. WQ It's in Iowa. The Ham House is a Gothic mansion that is located on the north end of Dubuque. It looks out over the Mississippi River, standing as a historic reminder of days gone by. But everything in the house may not be quite what it seems, because as years have passed, visitors to the house report that a strange presence lurks here, manifesting itself in unexplained lights and in cold chills that seem to originate from nowhere. The mansion began as a stone cottage in 1840, and shipping tycoon Mathis Ham lived there with his wife and 5 children. His first wife died in 1856, and he married again 4 years later. At the same time, he started to expand the house into a 23-room mansion that can be seen today. The family is one of the most socially prominent in the city, and Ham had a tower added onto the house to watch the movements of his ships on the river below. His wife Margaret passed away in 1874, and Mathis Ham himself died several years later in 1889. 2 of the Ham daughters, May and Sarah, still lived at the home, but May died in the 1890s, leaving Sarah alone in the rambling mansion. Late one night, an intruder broke into the house, and when he approached Sarah's door, she fired 2 shots into it with a pistol. The blood trail was found leading from the door to the river outside. The body of a river pirate was found near the muddy banks. Some say that a mysterious light which has been observed near the house is that of the ghostly lamp which is carried by this old pirate as he seeks revenge. Since 1964, the Ham House has been operated as a museum by the Dubuque County Historical Society. The staff members regularly report strange incidents like opening windows, phantom footsteps, and odd electrical problems. Well, I hope you enjoyed your tales for tonight. Wishing you all a spooky night.